So I do want to apologize about the noise that is coming from the chocolate fountain. So just ignore that. Listen to the story. It's a very, very good one. It's sad as well. But, ooh. Yummy. So good. I love chocolate. I watch what I eat, but I don't see nothing wrong with every now and then treating yourself. Especially if you work hard. Treat yourself. It's okay.
You spend all day on the phone anyhow.
I never tried these. I'm gonna try them. It's like a heart shape with icing and sprinkles, and it has vanilla icing on the inside, and then these ones have chocolate icing on the inside. Oh, this is so good. Angel and Duji are gonna be so mad at me because they've been dying to do this chocolate fountain. Oh my god, so good. I also have some donut holes. So we're gonna get straight into the true crime.
I got some messages to show you, Bobby. I got some messages to show you. It looks like it's a domestic abuse.
I know, nobody can adore me. Bye, see you next year if I could.
Okay.
It was an 8-year-old girl and a 6-year-old boy. And she was at a festival and a fight broke out. And she just so happened to get knocked out by a random. Imagine, that is just so scary. You're with your children and you just want them to have a good time. So you take them somewhere to do something fun and people just don't know how to act. And you and your children's life is in danger and you end up getting knocked out. She woke up to this man carrying her and walking her to the car to take her to the hospital. So long story short, she fell in love with that man. I mean, who wouldn't? Like, is that not just like a little girl's dream? Like, the perfect way to fall in love is you're this, what's it called? Dazzle in distress. I'm probably saying it wrong. But it's just like, you know, a little Cinderella story, right? They were so in love. The family loved him. Her family called him the bodyguard because he was just this big, tough guy. And his nickname was Semi because he would hit somebody one time and they'll get knocked out and their body's aching as if they just got hit by a semi. Like, that's how strong this dude's hits was. He had a past. He was a part of a gang, but that was behind him. He had turned his life around, and he even went to court and testified against the gang. So he was definitely headed down the right path. He had found a woman that he truly loved and he saved. So just imagine, like, he just felt so masculine and like the hero. And so everything was perfect. They moved in together, they got married, and the children loved him. And he even went to barber school, and she helped him go to barber school, and she held down the house, paid all the bills while he went to barber school. Well, all of a sudden, years into the marriage, all he wanted to do was play PS3, and he didn't want to help with his stepchildren anymore. And imagine, she's putting in all this work. She's already the breadwinner. She's working every single day so that you can go to school and make something of your new life, and then you can't even help with the kids and you're at home all day. I have to come home and cook and clean. How fair is that? But like I always say, you can't expect a man to change after marriage. Like, You know? How you get them, it's how you lose them. That doesn't go for cheating. That goes for how they are. It's how they are. They're not going to change, you know? A guy knows how to put on a good front in the beginning, and after that, he's back to his comfortable ways, and everything he starts doing, he used to do for you, starts dwindling away. So, her and her mom was just like me and my mom. By the way, today is my mom's birthday. Happy birthday to the most beautiful soul I have ever met. And they were very tight. They talked every single day. So her mom knew all the juice, all the tea, how he not working, all he want to do is play PS5 with his neighbor, who is also an ex-felon, and he is also in barber school. So the neighbor and the husband's name is Louise. The neighbor and Louise became real tight, and they was always playing the game. And the wife, her name is Jacina. She's Hispanic, so it's hard to pronounce her name. She did not like for him to play the game because it takes up time that you could be putting into helping me, being my helpmeet. So she didn't like it. She told him, and you know how that go. So she goes on this business trip and she tells him about it. I'm going on this business trip with my boss, and he becomes jealous. He's like, well, are you sure you don't have nothing going on with your boss, because you've been real distant with me? And she's like, nah, I'm upset because you don't help around the house. You have nothing to worry about when it comes to another man, though. So he's like, all right, cool. So she goes on this business trip. Not one time calls him or anything. So he like, it gotta be another man. And she's like, nah. You crazy. You going delusional. Like, you know how people do. They try to turn it around, make you seem like you crazy for even thinking something. She like, nah, you crazy. I ain't messing with nobody. This is strictly business. Like, I'm the one that gotta bring home the money. This is my bread and butter, and you jealous when I got you in hair school. I got you in barber school. So by the time she get back from the trip, she tells him, she's like, you know what, I can't do this. You don't help me with the kids. You don't help at all financially. You make my life even worse by constantly accusing me of cheating on you. You're so angry all the time. All you want to do is play PS5. Like, I can't do this. I want a divorce. He was like, all right. He agreed with it. He like, all right, cool. Well, 2 weeks after that, she's at work. He blows her phone down. Hold on. I just paid for somebody to break through your phone, and I just found that you are messing with this guy. Y'all text just this morning, making plans to see each other. He was like, and y'all are in a romantic relationship. I found that out through the text messages from y'all going out of town together on your quote unquote business trip. I'm on my way to your job. She like, nah, please don't be stupid. Whatever you do, please do not come to my job. This is my job. He never responded. All of a sudden, he shows up. One of her co-workers had to call the police, and this is the recording.
I got some messages to show you, Poppy. I got some messages to show you.
It looks like it's a domestic abuse.
So he ended up smacking her. He showed her the proof. He showed the man that she been sleeping with. I think his name was Kevin. She even showed Kevin, like, look, I know that y'all messing with each other. And then just like smacked his wife. And right before the police came, he sped off real quick. Well, then they ended up meeting a couple hours after that. They decided to meet at her mother's house so that they can have this family meeting and decide what they're going to do. Just get down to the bottom of it, because it's too much at this point. And so they end up going. They decide that they're going to get a divorce. He seems okay with it. And right before he left, the mom. She's so worried about him hurting the kids. She's so worried about him hurting her because he just got done doing it, and his name is Semi. He's known for that. He has a past of violence, and now they are enemies. They are against each other, basically. So you man, y'all gotta be careful, because when a man really loves you, he's on your side. But watch how he reacts to people that is his enemy. Because just in case, you don't want to manifest anything, but you have to be smart and cautious. Just in case one day you are the enemy, that's how he's going to treat you. And so he ends up, I got to make sure. So right before they left the family meeting, the mom was like, Semi, don't you hurt my daughter and my grandkids. And he said, no, I would never do that. They're my family. I could never hurt my own family. She like, all right. And she walked away. She asked her daughter, you guys need a break. How about y'all just spend a night at my house until everybody calms down? And her daughter was like, no, Mom, I want to sleep in my own bed. I'll be okay. He agreed that we're going to get a divorce. Blah, blah, blah. Well, the very next morning, it's like, what's going on? How come I haven't got a phone call from my daughter? We talk every single day. She blows her daughter up. Nothing. So she calls Semi. Semi answers the phone, all nonchalant and calm. And she's like, where's my daughter? He's like, I don't know. I'm sorry. He was like, I don't know. Where's she at? We got into another argument and she took the kids and left. And he was like, nah, my kid. She was like, my daughter would never leave without telling me where she was going. Please tell me where they're at. And he's like, look, I don't know. So she called the police. And she tells the police exactly what happened. He went to her job. He assaulted her at her job. We had a family meeting. They decided they was going to get a divorce, and they both left. And that's the last time I seen. So they go to his house. They knock on the door, and they smell bleach. Like, soon as they open the door, they was smacked with it. Like, well, dang, you been up cleaning all night. It's the morning, and your house smell like bleach already. The whole house. So you cleaned the whole house early in the morning. So that was the first sign. So they decided, we're going to go ahead and arrest you because you assaulted her yesterday. And now her and her kids is missing. Her mom called the kids' school. And they was like, yeah, no, she hasn't came in today. Her mom busted out crying and was just like, I already know something bad happened. Something bad happened. My grandkids are not even at school. And so they take him. They arrested him. They interrogated him for 8 hours, and he was like, we got into a fight, she cheated on me, and she decided to leave. And he's like, they're missing though. Do you not get that through your head that your wife and your stepchildren are missing? And he's like, how can they be missing when it's only been a couple hours? So the police is like, she's real tight with her mom. Why wouldn't she talk to her mom then? And Semi's response was, well, she ain't as tight as y'all think she is. Do you see how he's so against her? They're missing. Why don't you give him a phone call, cry and plead and beg her to answer the phone? You're refusing to do anything normal. Like, you're not acting like you're worried. So anyways, he ain't budging. He is not budging. After 8 hours of interrogation, he's like, he wouldn't give them nothing. He's like, I'm sorry, I don't know. Like, she may be with the man that she was cheating on me with, because they couldn't wait to run away together. And so after 8 hours of interrogation, he's like, can I please go to my cell? They like, yeah. So the next morning, the neighbor finds out that the wife and children is missing, and he immediately goes to the police. He's like, I have something to tell y'all. He was like, last night, he was like, the night that she went missing, Semi came to my house and said that he needed help moving her car to a different county. And I didn't ask no questions. I just helped him. I just rode with him. But I also noticed he kept wiping the seats down. The neighbor drove Semi's car, and Semi drove his wife's car, and they went to a different county. And then he's like,
he was like, right when we dropped the car off, he started wiping the seats down. He got in my car with all this he got in his car with all this cleaning supplies. He had me pull up to a dumpster and put all their stuff, like all of the kids' toys, all of her things, everything was in the dumpster. He put everything in the dumpster. And then he saw the way that I looked at him when he grabbed things out of the trunk that belonged to the kids. And he saw the way I looked at him. He was like, bro, I just snapped. That's what Semi said to the neighbor. Bro, I just snapped. And the neighbor jumped out the car and was like, don't tell me nothing. I'm walking over here to this convenience store. Don't talk to me no more. Like, I ain't got nothing to do with this. I don't know what you snapped about, but I don't want to know about it. I'm out of here. And he went to a convenience store and purchased whatever, some snacks or whatever he got. And he found his way back home. And that was the last time that he had seen that's the last time he seen Semi. So for the police to know this, the very next morning, they get Semi out his cell and they like, we about to interrogate him all day long. It's going to be more than 8 hours now. So they told him, they was like, so we have a lead that you told somebody you snapped and you put their things in the dumpster. Why do we find all their stuff in the dumpster? And it has your wife and stepchildren's blood all over these things. So now we know that they're dead. We just need to know where their bodies are. Not to mention there was splatters in the man's, in their house, in the master bathroom. There was like drops of blood, and it belonged to 2 children and an adult. And so he didn't clean up everything. And so they told him, they was like, you know, we have a lead saying you were driving your wife's car this morning. And he's like, impossible. So they're like, all right. So they show him pictures of his children and his wife. And they're like, these 3 people that you love dearly have lost their life and now they're gone. You were the last one seen with them. Look at your children. Look at your wife. And he bust out crying. He was like, I'm ready to talk. I'm ready to tell y'all the truth. Are y'all ready? I'm about to tell y'all the truth. I'm about to tell y'all the truth. And he was like, so we got home and we was arguing and I had told her, I'm like, it's no fair that me and you have a bad marriage and this man is out here. He has a happy marriage and he's doing his wife wrong. We need to call and tell the wife what's going on. If our marriage is messed up, his marriage need to be messed up behind this. So I took her phone and I texted him and I said, hey, I want to work things out with my husband. Can me and you meet up and talk? It took him an hour later to call us back. And when he called back, she hurried up and answered the phone and was like, that wasn't me. That was my husband that texted you. Goodbye, and hung up. She was like, he was like, and I told her, I'm like, fine then. You want to be, what he say? He was like, you want to be with Kevin? Then go be with him. But I'm out of here. I'm not dealing with you. I'm not dealing with you. So they decided he gonna stay there for 3 months and pull his stuff together, save up some money so that he could leave. So then he was like, so I go outside and I run into the neighbor. And I had told him, I'm like, look, man, I got some problems at the house and she doing this and she doing that and she cheating. And I don't care about fixing it no more. I'm so tired of her. She hates when I play PS3. Come over, let's play PS3 together. And the neighbor was like, all right. And so they go in there and they're playing PS3. And she walk in and she saw me playing it and she just flipped out. She said me and my neighbor had to leave. And I told her I ain't going nowhere. He was like, and she just started attacking me. He started crying. He was like, I'm so tired of her putting her hands on me. She the one that's always putting her hands on me. I got proof from plenty of people. I got witnesses. She's always putting her hands on me. And I just got so tired. And I tried not to hit her because I know my strength. I know that I could knock somebody out, so I be trying to keep my hands to myself. But I just got so sick of her grabbing on me, and I turned around and did like this to her throat, and then she stopped breathing. She hit her head and stopped breathing, and I was just like, she looked at me. She died and looked at me like, yo, I was crying watching this, like.
She fell down on the floor, holding her neck, looking at me. Stop breathing. She stopped breathing. She She died looking at me.
Like the way he told the story and the way he was just like crying from his gut. I was like, oh my God. I was really sitting there crying. He was like, and then he was like, the kids from all the yelling, the kids ran in there and they saw their mom. And I told the neighbor, I'm like, get them out of here. Don't let them see this. Don't let them see this. So and I'm trying to pull her together. And he took my kids over there. And all of a sudden I heard, pow, pow, pow. And he was like, I was like, what was that? He said, I ran in there and the neighbor had shot my kids. And he was like, I'm sorry, man, but they're a witness to you killing your wife. I can't go back to jail. I'm not going to jail for murder. Yo, like, I was sitting there bawling, okay? And I got kids, all right? And so he was like, he's the one that took all the bodies. I don't know what he did with them. He just told me that he would take care of it, and he took all the bodies with him. He won't tell me. He said that it would be best that I didn't know. Now remember, he didn't tell this story until after they told him. Somebody told us that you said you snapped. Somebody told us that you put the stuff in the dumpster. He looking like ding, 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 the neighbor. So he ended up saying the neighbor helped him. And this story was believable. I ain't gonna hold you. The story was very believable until they ended up interrogating the neighbor for 30 hours. And it was like, nah, there's no way he did it. There's no way they did it because they seen a surveillance camera of the corner store of the neighbor walking in at the exact same time that he said he did when he walked out of the car. They had so much proof on this dude. And so he calmed down. He was like, can I go to the bathroom? And they was like, yeah. So the security guard walked him to the bathroom, and the security guard was like, listen, dude, just be honest with us. Now imagine. I thought I already was honest with y'all, and I told y'all the neighbor did it. And you gonna put me to the side and say, just be honest? So you don't believe me? Oh my God. I cried real life tears. You still don't believe me? So he like, dude, just tell us the truth. And he like, please just tell us where the bodies is. Semi said, I'll never tell you where the bodies are. Went into the bathroom, and all of a sudden you heard all this commotion. This man had broke the glass and tried to slit his throat and his arm. He tried to take himself out after he just told the security guard, I'll never tell you where the bodies are. But you just sat down and said that you didn't know where they was. You also, you've been lying from jump. And till this day, they cannot find these bodies. They went to trial, and of course, he was found guilty. They gave him 3 life sentences during the trial. They interviewed the boy, the neighbor. He cried. It was so sad. He was like, they were really nice kids. I did like them. And the whole time, Semi is in a corner, slowly like, I don't know what he was doing. He was throwing up gang signs though. And the judge saw him, and the judge was like, I see you over there, and it looks like you're throwing up gang signs. We don't tolerate that. So like, you don't have no sympathy, no remorse. You're not even taking this serious. So you deserve to be in prison. So they gave him 3 life sentences, but he didn't get the death penalty, which he should have gotten that, but he didn't get the death penalty, and he's refusing to say where the bodies are. I thought that story was freaking crazy. Like, oh my God, you done took a family away from this mother, and that was all she had. She loved her grandkids. Like, it doesn't matter who loved them. They didn't deserve to have their life taken away from you. Who are you? A nobody that sat down playing PS4, PS3 all day. So that really broke my heart. I wanted to share that with you guys, being that it is Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. Put a pink heart if you are still with me. Post notification goes to... Thank you so much for having your post notifications on. Shout out to you for being the first to comment on the last video. If you would like a shout out, all you have to do is be the first to comment on the next video. If you would like to see more holiday mukbangs, then click right here. If you would like to subscribe to this channel and join the family, then click right here. I love you, and I will see you guys in the next mukbang.